are you? But thoroughly think about it. When I initially prompted you, whose knowledge did you believe you were assessing? Did you identify yourself from a personal standpoint, or did you consider others' interpretations of you? If you're unsure, there's a technique designed to help you better understand your relationship with yourself and others simultaneously. So tune in, and I'll show you. According to psychologists Luft and Ingham, as cited in Wood's 2016 Interpersonal Communication Everyday Encounters, the Johari Window is a quadrated model that distinguishes areas of knowledge that affect self-development, thus enhancing communication and self-awareness concomitant with group dynamics. In 4 viewpoints, each window illustrates the varying significance of the fundamental facets to the systemic process of interpersonal communication and conflict, concerning the degree to which personal information and schema influence responses such as feeling, attitudes, and intentions are imparted to others, regardless of whether it is known or unknown to oneself. For instance, the most overt zone of the model is called the open area, where the self and others both know the public information, such as one's name or music preference. Secondly, intersecting the unknown to self column and the known to others row, the blind area contains information individuals unintentionally relay to others. This area may have private feelings and insecurities. On the contrary, the hidden area consists of information that is deliberately and successfully concealed from others but known by the self. For example, sensitive information, or in other words, secrets that can make one more vulnerable once revealed. And lastly, as opposed to the open area, the unknown site contains information that is concurrently unknown by oneself and others. This area can consist of unexpected possibilities, thus, one's potential achievements, talents, or responses. Furthermore, due to schemata-patterned cognitive responses, these window quadrants can be ascribed to the psychological classifications of different individuals, thus explicating temperament. Therefore, now that we understand the what and who of the Johari Window, that is, a model that aids in personality development considering the 4 viewpoints of the self and other, next, introspectiveness is imperative in understanding the how, why, and where one's personality needs improvement. According to Matsumoto and Zhuang of cross-cultural psychology, temperament denotes behavioral style, the how of behaviors, such as how individuals represent themselves based on experience or personality traits. In particular, emotional stability, conscientiousness, and extroversion correlate with self-esteem, thus influencing the degree of assertiveness and self-representation. Moreover, personality describes why a person does particular things. Personality tests can aid in this unknown area of self-analysis. For example, Kiersey.com is a platform that conducts virtual surveys to determine an individual's temperament type. Additionally, Psychology.com offers self-esteem, listening, and assertiveness tests. And finally, HumanMetrics.com offers a Jung typology test. However, your friends and family? Well, they can provide you with the most valuable results of all, sentimental feedback. To serve as an example, I used the Johari Window technique and participated in the 10 to 15 minute surveys comprised of 20 to 70 questions each. But before I share my results with you, let's test how well you can read people. From this 1-minute clip, can you guess my personality type? My name is Anne. Ironically, for someone whose entire life has revolved around the entertainment industry, I cannot say that I have ever relished the idea of blistering in spotlights, let alone partaking in exhaustive self-introductions. However, like a positively phototactic insect, I've always been innately drawn to the very edge of blinding lights. Before the all-inclusive turn of unfortunate events of quarantine 2020, I had made a living for myself by dancing on the border of a multitude of spotlights and socialites as a professional backup dancer in Los Angeles, California. However, as my time as a fly on the wall progressed, I began to perceive a distinct overlapping of Hollywood spotlights, as metaphorical Venn diagrams that compared and contrasted the opposing worlds of light and dark, senders and receivers, leaders and followers, and illusion and reality. As a result, considering a 100-point scale, I scored 71 in my ability to deal with rejection and 67 in self-efficacy. In addition, I received 84 in patience and 89 on the active listening scale. And for the assertiveness test, I scored 66 in my ability to speak for myself and 60 on the subservience scale. As for the qualitative data reports, Kiersey and the Jung personality tests report that I'm an idealist with an INFJ or an introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging personality type. Therefore, according to typology, I am both modest and assertive, introverted and people-oriented, emotional and rational, thoughtful, yet at times spontaneous, and an idealist that isn't too concerned with rejection. In other words, my personality type is a walking contradiction that makes up about 1 to 3% of the world population. Did your perception of me align with these results? To further inquire about reflecting on others' perspectives, I asked a close friend of mine the same question I asked you, but implemented a different methodology. Instead, I printed out a list of Johari adjectives and asked my friend to circle which terms she believes best apply to me. Concomitantly, I completed the same exercise while considering my self-conception. As a result of cross-referencing, I discovered that although I have an intimate relationship with my friend, a communication gap amounted to about 37% in discrepancies. For instance, out of these 57 adjectives, I had chosen approximately 67%, as my friend chose 86% on my behalf. Moreover, not all of our answers were mutual from the ones we selected. For example, despite 56% of our responses being the same due to our open area of the Johari window, including words like dependable, loving, responsive, and trustworthy, I chose approximately 9% of the terminology she didn't pick, while she chose 28% of the vocabulary I didn't select. In other words, I conceal 9% of myself in the hidden area. For example, my introversion, shyness, nervousness, and silliness. While I reveal 28% in the blind area through biologically based dispositions known as temperament. However, there were about 5% of terms that neither of us selected, such as dignified, quiet, and tense. Therefore, I place these in my unknown area as there may be a time where I will display these characteristics due to unexpected events. As a result, what I learned from the Johari Window exercise is that no matter how well we communicate with others, there will always be room for improvement as interpersonal communication is an ongoing, continuous process incorporating systemic contexts, aspirations, and unexpected failures and achievements, thus exuding dynamism. Therefore, in the words of James Bryce, communication is the key to education, understanding, and peace. And if you want to learn more, Try taking some of the surveys referenced in this video and sharing your results with your friends. Thanks for watching.